going live, and we are live. Hello, everyone. Great
Hi,
to see
everybody.
you. Welcome to the Airwiggles Music Contest prize reveal, and just like a showcase of all the runner-ups as well. This is going to be very, very cool. We're going to wait a couple of minutes for everyone to come in, but your hosts for tonight are Greg Lester and the one and only
Lewis
Lewis
Thompson. Sorry, I didn't know if you wanted me to say that or not. But
We are
that's me.
so professional and choreographed.
We even finish each other's.
Sentences.
There we go. Yes, welcome everybody. I'm just going to start off by saying thank you to everybody who is here and watching us. Thank you to everybody that entered the contest as well. I didn't actually have a number of how many people entered the contest, but I think it's over like 200. I think it was one of our most popular contests ever. So thank you very, very much. We're going to be going through a few different bits first, and then we're going to be listening to our five top entries for each category. So it's going to be 15 minutes of music in total, spread over the next half an hour, 45 minutes or so. And again, I've listened to all the entries, and it is so good. You're in for a real treat with some of these tracks coming up. I've also seen in a chat that Scott's asking me to sing the winning entries. You've got it. No, I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. This is a music contest. We're supposed to be promoting good music, and if I start singing, then believe me, that will really lower the tone.
You are one of our resident voice actors, though, at Soundcut, so yeah.
That's true. My voice acting, singing, I'm not a good voice actor anyway, but I'm very, very much not a good singer.
I mean, at
yes,
least
I'm very excited.
At least better than myself. We did a project together recently, and I did some voices, and man, they got some heavy reviews. Lots of feedback, many rounds of feedback. It's not good enough, Greg. It's not convincing enough. All justified, to be fair. All right. We've got a bunch of people in the chat now. How's everyone doing? What's been we have a couple of people actually that work on a lot of different ones, because there were 3 entries overall. We had C, we had Space, and then we had Smoke. How many people did multiple, and what was your favorite one to work on?
Yeah, why don't you do a poll, Greg?
Oh my god, that is a great idea.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I didn't enter, obviously, because if I did, I would have won. No, I'm kidding. It wouldn't have been fair for me to enter, but I was most tempted by the C one personally, which was weird because it didn't get as many entries as the other 2. But the C one just looked like so relaxing. I loved the colors. It was the most inspirational to me anyway, so that's what I would have gone for if I was going to enter.
Yeah, we've got a poll going, so get your votes in. And then I think this reminds me of when we did the Sound is Sound Showdown all over again, and we had some fantastic polls in there, including the rap battle. We have to do that again someday.
I still remember looking at the final poll for that contest where it came down to, what was it? Was it 50 to 49 or something? It didn't even make sense mathematically because it was so close. It was so close it broke just maths in general.
Yeah.
Good times. That was a lot of work, but I would love to do that again. Watch your space.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Smoke is apparently
Smoke, interesting.
The popular one.
Okay, this is weird how Space is looking at like the least favorite, because Space had the most entries. So you all did it, but you all hated it by the sounds of it. Yeah, C had the least entries, then Smoke, then Space, which is interesting. Well, I could sit here and talk about it for ages. Are we ready to get going through the intro, you reckon, Greg?
We're ready. It's 6:03. Anyone who's not joined, well, they're bad.
Oh, they've got 5 minutes at least before we actually start listening to stuff. So let's go through it. So just again, if you missed it earlier, thank you so much to everybody that entered, that took part, that just like shared stuff about the contest on social media, everyone that was involved. It was a really cool, fun contest. We loved being a part of it. Thank you everyone that entered and everyone that is here now, and also a big thank you to the artist Killer Robert Media, who very kindly allowed us to use these 3 very cool animated artworks for our contest. Yeah, I love them. I think they're so stylish. They're so clean. I love the kind of like the animations behind them. I think they're great, and I'm hoping it was inspirational to everybody else as well. So a big thank you to everybody who took part, as well as our prizes. So in case you didn't know, this is what you're all fighting for. I say fighting, that sounds a bit aggressive. This is what you're all challenging each other for. We have 3 different top prizes for each of the 3 scenes. There's only going to be prizes for the first place winner of each one, unfortunately. But if you entered the smoke contest and you win that, you will win Sonia Skill's Time Textures sample library, which is a really awesome kind of like orchestral hybrid sample library. You're going to win Rogue Waves' 8-bit Legend SFX library, which is kind of like retro style sound effects. And you'll also get the fabled Airwiggles VIP library, which is a great sound library made by myself and Greg and Lewis Ball and John Kelleher, which is only available to people who have won prizes or helped Airwiggles in some way. So it's a very elite club that owns that library. Likewise, if you win the space category, you'll win, this is quite a big one, the Kilohertz phase plant synthesizer, which is awesome. I'll truth be told, I've only just started using it myself, Craig. I've had it for a while, but I've never really dived into it. Oh my word, it's amazing. Like, I'm using it as every synth in every project at the moment. It's great. But on top of that, in case people maybe already have Faceplant, you also get 2 extra content banks, which is Cheat Code and Outer Space for the kind of retro game graphics and the Outer Space graphics. And likewise, you also win the 8-bit Legend sound effect library from Rogue Waves and another copy of the Airwiggles VIP library. And finally, for the C challenge, you'll win Sonia Skills' Chroma sample library, which is a really lovely piano library. And again, you'll win the 8-bit Legend sound effect library and the Airwiggles VIP library. So these are some pretty cool prizes, do I say to myself, Greg? I mean, I've got most of these and I think they're all fantastic. I'm hoping whoever wins doesn't have them already. But if they do, we'll figure it out. But we'll announce the winners soon and we'll reach out to the winners afterwards with the details of how to get these things.
Yeah, and just a huge shout out to Sonus Core. Please go back a slide again because my memory is not that good. Rogue Waves and Kilohertz for actually providing the prizes. So yeah, huge shout out to them, and definitely check out like the websites. They have awesome sound libraries and great plugins as well. So yeah,
absolutely. Before we get into it, if you may have seen on Airwiggles, we're organizing a little extra video thing. We're making 3 different compilations videos of everyone's entries for this contest. So we're going to make one for the space, one for sea, one for smoke. If you would like your video to be included in our compilation video, you just have to go through this link and submit it. I know you can't click this because it's on my screen, but we're going to paste it in the chat for you now. Tell you what, Greg, can you type it and write a message in the chat for me?
Yeah, but, absolutely. I will do that, no problem.
Basically, we're going to make like a little compilation video, probably around half an hour to an hour long for each one. Everyone that submits something through this form will be included in it. We're not going to be picking our favorites. Yeah, it'll be great. There's some credits you can put on there to share your work, but in general, it's just going to make a pretty sick compilation video where you can just listen to either some spacey or some smoky or some beachy kind of awesome vibes for a couple hours. So if you want to be a part of that, then go through that form.
Lewis already had a great name earlier when we were discussing this. He said for the space one, was it lo-fi to die in space too?
Yeah. Something. Lo-fi beats to suffocate in space too. All right then, let's commence then. The first one we're going to look at is C, which was I think it was the least entered. We had about 150 entrants, I think. Maybe not quite. There was a lot of entrants, but this is the least popular one. So we're going to start with this first. The way this is going to work is we're going to go through our top 5 in order from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The top 5, not including the winner, are just kind of like honorable mentions. We loved your entries. We wanted to share it with with the world and with this live stream. Unfortunately, the only prize winners are going to be the #1 prize, which will be revealed at the end. And also, just before I forget, a quick guide on how we did the judging and how we decided these. So a while ago, I went through every single entry and I picked my kind of top 10 entries or so for each category. I then put them all in the Google form. I assembled a team of amazing judges, such as Greg and some of our trusted musicians and music friends. And they all rated each entry based on our judging criteria, which, if you forgot, was creativity, production value, and the overall vibe. And so based on the averages of everybody's score, These are the winners from bottom to top. All right then, let's go. Let's listen to the first entry for C, the first winner for C, I should say. I'm going to talk over the second half of this song, but we love this one. We thought it was really clean. We thought the vibe matched perfectly, and my personal favorite part is the kind of rising white noise sweep, which sounds like waves, but also is just like fits perfectly within the track. It's really nice.
Yeah, agreed. Immaculate vibes.
Go. Congratulations. That was by Luka Nikolic in 5th place for C. So congratulations. I know 5th place seems quite far up the top, but there was so many entries. It's remarkably impressive to become top 5. So well done everybody that we're about to show off. But yeah, that was our first entry. Amazing. We loved it. We thought it was really, really great.
Congrats.
I'm not singing over anything, Scott. You can stop asking. Next up in 4th place. Again, I'm going to speak about this one a little bit. I love this one as well. I mean, I love all of them, so I can stop saying that. But it's so relaxing. It's not quite like what everyone else went for. It's very stripped back, very minimalist. But again, it works perfectly. It's so relaxing, and I can just imagine being that guy in the hammock, just relaxing on the beach. I think it's lovely.
This was one of my personal favorites. I love the stripped back vibe of it, and it just, when I think of sunset, that's really what I'm thinking about. So I think absolutely nailed it.
Absolutely. And that was by Elias McDermott Sipe. Apology if I'm getting your name wrong. It's one hell of a name, I have to say. But yeah, we thought that was amazing. I say quite a bold creative choice to kind of go so minimalist. A lot of people were kind of building up as much as they could to try and fit as much in into 1 minute, but it knew what it wanted to be. It was fantastic. We really liked it. So yeah, great work.
Yeah, amazing job.
Right, 3rd place, bronze medal. So this one, again, we love them all. We love this one as well. I quite liked how ominous it is. It's again, in terms of the vibe, it's very different to the other entries we had, but it works really well. It feels like something I just want to chat, say, quite serious, but at the same time quite relaxing. It's a really unique vibe this one has, and we think the composition and the creativity and production is fantastic as well. We really liked this one. I'd say it was probably, I mean, I won't go into our numbers we got with the judging, but it was a bit controversial with the judges. Some people loved it, some people didn't think it worked quite as well, but overall, on average, it came out really strong. And so, yeah, huge credit for kind of going such a different route to, again, everybody else. We really liked that one. Congratulations.
I was a big fan of this one. I mean, it was like, the thing for me, it just feels like a perfect thing for like a puzzle game or something, like on a moody beach, little retro Legend of Zelda level like a beach level, you're trying to solve some puzzles. That's the vibes for me. That it works so well. So yeah, well
absolutely. That was by Sarah Emma. So congratulations for third place. Yeah, really cool stuff. Really, really good. All right, second place. Let's take a listen. So again, this one is just a great vibe. This is probably exactly what I had in mind when I first saw the GIF and when he put the challenge to the Airwiggles. It's so lo-fi, it's so relaxing. It just matches the kind of retro feel. It's great. It's really, really good.
The groove on this is so good. And
I like the
like
little... Yeah, it's a nice way to start and end it. And I also like, you may have heard like bits of like whispering. What they're actually saying is subscribe to our YouTube channel is what they're saying, which is really nice of them to get that in there.
Yeah, they didn't pay us for that either, so.
Yeah, and they also said also Lewis is better than Greg is what they said in the middle. But you know,
I mean, careful, we can make a poll and find out. So don't you dare.
But, this is really, really great work. So commiserations that it missed out in first place by one spot, but it was really fantastic. We really loved it. That was by, apologies if I pronounced your name wrong. I want to say Surush Mahasisi. Can you try it better than I can, Greg?
Nah, I'm gonna leave it at that, I think.
I'm very sorry if I mispronounced your name.
Absolutely nailed it.
However your name is pronounced, we freaking loved your entry. It was really, really great. So well done. And now,
nice one, Surush.
Our first place entry for C. And I'm going to preface this with, this is my favorite entry of the entire competition personally. I loved this one. I thought it was fantastic. We won't talk through it. We'll let it play out in its full glory, and we'll chat about it afterwards. Amazing. I freaking love this one. It is so catchy. The production value is amazing. There's only a couple songs over the entire contest that I thought when I first heard them, I could immediately recite how it went in my head. Like it stuck with me. I caught myself singing it like round the house when I've been washing up. It stood out to me like nothing else. I thought it sounded awesome. I thought it would belong straight in like a Sonic Adventure game on the beach or something. I thought it was incredible. I loved it. What do you think, Greg?
I think it was fantastic. For me, I'm a big SpongeBob fan. Anyone who knows me knows that. Yeah, this transported me back to that kind of vibe. The just careless, like, yay! So yeah, to be honest, love this one. Really great.
It was great.
So
And
huge congratulations for first place. Well deserved.
And that was by Daniel Dobbs, who I can see is in the chat as well. So
Hey,
I'm glad you've
congrats.
managed to watch your victory live. Yeah, it was really, really great. I really, really loved it. Amazing work. So good. All right, then let's move on to our next category, which I believe is smoke. The vibes are gonna get a little bit darker now, unfortunately. But I'm sure we can all handle it. Let's start with number 5. Oh, buffering. Yeesh. My internet doesn't break. I really love I think it's woodwinds playing here. It's a really unconventional but effective way to kind of get across the kind of tragedy, I suppose, that the scene is portraying. It's really calming, well, but not really in a good way. You know, it feels ominous. It feels like something has gone horribly wrong, maybe 6 months ago, etc. Yeah, we really love that, and I thought it was a really nice way to show it as well. A kind of unconventional instrumentation way to show the similar kind of emotions that a lot of people did. We thought it was really great.
I love the contrast of this. I think it's really interesting because a lot of people went for something more intense, and it's really cool the way the woodwinds naturally like ebb and flow, and then you've got those little embellishments like the fantastic
Absolutely.
execution, very subtle, feels so soft. So yeah,
And
brilliant.
if you want intense, there's some really intense ones coming up. So yeah, it just really goes to show the different interpretations everyone made. Anyway, this one was by, he's back, Elias McDermott Sype with the second runner-up. So congratulations for being runner-up twice. Yeah, really strong work. Really, really cool. Really just a beautiful track. Works really well.
Good work.
Number 4.
I'm absolutely in love with the subtle textures in this one.
I like the it's like a percussion, which is almost a bit like one of those like radiation counter things.
Geiger
really
counter.
creative. That's the one. Yeah, really creative. Yeah, that was awesome. That was really cool. Again, slow, subtle. You know, not really like in your face like some other entries, but still super effective in terms of the vibe and the emotion portrayed. But like, it's bang on. You know, you're looking at the visuals, listening to that, you feel like something awful has happened, but it's still yet kind of calm now, which is a great work. That was by, sorry, that was by Alistair McNamara. So congratulations.
Also in the chat. Fantastic.
Yes, I'm glad we have so many of our winners and runners up in the chat. So yeah, that was really, really great. Next up. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, get better internet, Lewis, please. Huge fan of vocals that are like choir and stuff.
This one feels straight from a Hollywood film soundtrack.
Oh, absolutely. This could be ripped out, and I would be like, "Yep, makes sense."
Yeah, I'd have no idea. I'd have no idea this is composed for like a pixel art looping GIF, which is about 3 seconds long. It sounds like it's from, you know, the next disaster film. People in the chat were joking about, you know, John Williams being first to Visa or what's in fifth and fourth, and that one really does remind me of kind of John Williams, especially some of the early chord changes in the strings. Yeah, fantastic work. A great film scoring approach. Like, I thought it was utterly fantastic. Let's have a look who that was by. Do you want to pronounce the name, Greg?
I'll try. Ferenc Patry.
That sounds right.
Congratulations on third place.
Work. And apologies if we're getting your name wrong. But yeah, amazing work. Really, really great. Just sounds lifted straight from a film soundtrack. Such high production value. Really, really great work.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to kick things up a notch of number 2, because I know which one this is. Let's have a listen.
Captain has turned off the no smoking sign.
Yeah, this is amazing. What a bass.
Some classic dubstep with some break beats. Awesome. And those drums.
As well. Yeah. Awesome. Some of these I cut off slightly short to make them 1 minute because that's what we were judging on. But yeah, that was fantastic. So something I loved about this contest in general, right? That track is freaking awesome. It sounds like a sick kind of D&B track. But in terms of like how it relates to the graphic, it kind of feels like it's interpreted the graphic more as like an album cover or something rather than a scene, like a real life scene. I like how the previous entry, Ferenc, it felt like they took the scene and was like, imagine a film around this, set in this location, you're actually in this world, which is awesome. And then Steve here, it sounds like he's like just taken the most, I've given away a name already, but yeah, it's Steve Simpson. Sounds like he's just like taken it as like rough inspiration to make the sickest drop he possibly could. It's really awesome. And yeah, in case it wasn't clear, let's have a look at who that was by. And it's by Steve Simpson.
Yeah.
Congratulations. It was really, really awesome. I can see that also in the chat, which is really lovely. Yeah, congrats. It was great. And I loved the bit where they said the captain has turned off the no smoking sign. All right, then. First place. Let's take a listen. Well done. That was by, let's reveal it now. That was by Ninian Valenta, I believe it's pronounced. That was awesome. I think the way I see this one is it's kind of like a mix of every entry we liked, really. It's got the electronic elements of the synth bass kind of pounding away, just going, driving the whole scene. But it's got some really awesome orchestration, some great kind of siren-like brass and string kind of bends. It's kind of everything I liked about every other entry basically combined into one, which I really loved it. I thought it was really, really great.
Yeah, as Key and Hallie already said, I mean, Call of Duty, Black Ops stuff, I feel like as well, Battlefield, like the new 2042, this sounds straight out of like a loading screen or something. This is so cool. Love
Absolutely.
the tension. It's like that is building up slowly with the filter modulation, the drums getting more and more intense. Just the perfect amount of gradual tension building, not letting it go too fast, but just keeping us on the edge. Amazing
Absolutely.
work.
Yeah, really great work. Yeah, it just had me kind of like hooked the entire time. I thought the production was basically perfect. I thought it sounded fantastic. Again, it sounded like it could be lifted straight from a film score, maybe something a little bit more modern than the previous one I said that for. But yeah, it was just, again, fantastic work. Great modern production. Absolutely smashed the vibe. It fit perfectly. Yeah, it was just really great. So congratulations to Ninian. All right, then. Let's move on to our final category, which is space.
Woo! My favorite.
Yes, this one had the most entries, so it was the hardest one to judge. But again, there's some cool stuff coming up. Let's go through it, shall we? In 5th place. This one, I loved the ambience of it. Not many of the entries we had at the contest were like just kind of like fully ambient tracks. Of all the ambient tracks we had, this is my favorite. So calming. It's very spacey. Feels very lost floating in space alone. And I love that. I know who did it, but I love that whoever did it didn't feel the need to make it exciting, or well, that sounds harsh, but they didn't have to make it overly exciting, or they didn't have to make it, you know, full of intricate details. It knew what it was. They committed to having an ambient track, and it worked really, really well.
Yeah, I love the textures again. Huge fan of textures, and the pads in here, they're really, really nice. A little bit grainy in just the right way, and yeah, just gives it so much character. Absolutely love this one.
That was by Hallie Linus, who's one of our top Airwigglers, but I promise you that had no say in the judging. It was just an amazing entry, and when we did the voting, it just rose to the top. It was so good. So congratulations.
But if you do want to get top 5 next time, there is a PayPal link in the description.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's check out number 4. This is really cool, really ominous.
This feels like it can, you know, you will play this at an opening set at a huge festival and then like go into a crazy drop. Love this.
Yeah. Yeah, really great work. Let's have a look. Who was that by? That was by Paul Stakonis. Yeah, great work. Pop production was fantastic. Again, smashed the vibe. Sounded ominous, sounded alone, seemed like there was something going on, maybe behind the camera, etc. Why was there just a random skull on this random planet? It's really suggesting that something going on in the universe. And we loved it. We thought it was really great.
Yeah, and I think what Thomas said is spot on. I'm getting some mad trailer vibes. Totally agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. In a world. Yeah, it's really good. Third place. I love the little arpeggio.
I'm a huge fan of the voices as well. And again, those distorted type textures in the background. So much character.
It reminds you, really, it reminds you a bit of like Time by Hans Zimmer. Just kind of like the four chords looping, but building slowly and more elements coming in. It sounds really grand, really epic. Thought that was fantastic. And again, I love the voices saying, yes, you really should subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like, again, the fact that two people decided to put that in, amazing. So really appreciate that. That was by Pierre Steitler. Again, sorry if I'm pronouncing names wrong, but yeah, fantastic work. Great work getting the bronze medal. Was just really, really awesome. Great. Again, I love the arpeggios personally. That's my favorite part, but just built perfectly. It's just awesome. Really awesome. Great production.
I want like a huge playlist of full tracks because there's been so many incredible entries and a lot of them are like, I want more. I want more than a minute.
Second place, this one, it was close because this one, both Greg and I do really, really like. Let's take a listen.
So simple, but the drums just carry it.
Yeah, awesome.
One of
amazing work.
My favorite tracks of the whole competition. This one is something like I would just stick on when I want to focus and do stuff. This is incredible work. So yeah.
I feel as I mentioned earlier with the winner of the beach, the sea entry, that was one of the entries I could kind of like remember and sing to myself like after listening to it. This is the other one where it's just been in my head. You know, I sat through and listened to probably 200, 300 music tracks, and the fact I can remember this one so clearly, I think really just goes to show just how clean, tight, well produced it is. Again, it's not super complicated, it's not overly flashy, it just gets the vibe perfect straight away. It's so calming, it's so calm but kind of a little bit ominous, and it's really great.
This is definitely a track I would choose to die in space to. Absolutely. Just perfect.
Yeah, I agree, and that was by Higuera. Amazing work. We love that one, and I would love to hear a longer version as well.
Trevor, we need a long
loop, I think. Yeah.
Put it on Spotify, please.
And finally, the last track we're going to show of the Airwiggles Music Contest, the winner of the space category, which was the winner of the most popular category. So huge props to who this is going to be. Yeah, we'll let it play out again. But this one took our breath away. I guess it's very appropriate being in space. We thought it was great. Let's take a listen.
This is for
freaking
when
cool
you've
is that?
died and you enter like the next realm.
I feel like this is kind of like when there's a slight hole in your astronaut helmet and you're kind of like starting to faint and pass out, but you're still kind of with it.
Getting really high on space.
That did make me high in space. I love that. If you didn't know, that's a really winner straight away. That was by Scott VR. What an amazing track that was. Reasons I liked it so much. It was, I think, the most creative track we had in the space category. The composition style was so like not what I was expecting. It was kind of, you're really floating around these different kind of parts of the scene of space. You didn't really know if it was calm 1 second, disturbing the next. I loved the composition, and in terms of production as well, like you had some really interesting tones and textures in there, as well as the kind of piano and the strings, etc. Like there was crazy like theremin stuff going on and these kind of like synthesized bits, and it all just came together more than the sum of its parts. I thought it sounded so unique, but also so like perfectly fitting the vibe. I loved it, and and I have to say, in terms of the judging we did beforehand, like this was the most popular in terms of the scores anyway. People just love this one. So amazing work, Scott. We thought it was really, really cool.
Absolutely nailed it. And yeah, I wanted to say as well, all the winners will receive some cool badges as well. That's something we forgot to put on the prizes, but you'll get some sweet badges to show that you have been a winner. And the winners are, as a recap, for Smoke, we have Nini and Valenta. For Space, Scott VR. And for C, Daniel Dobbs. So congratulations to all of you. And yeah, amazing work to all of the people that entered. It has been so fun to listen to all of this stuff and to just be absorbed in all of your different creations. It's truly amazing what all of you have come up with, and yeah, just the sheer quality. I think it was mentioned, of course, early in the chat with like the John Williams first place. So I agree totally. It's unbelievable stuff. So well done, everyone. Really awesome.
It was an absolute joy going through all the entries. It was also really stressful deciding which ones didn't get awarded anything, because the standard was so high as always. Yeah, there's so many more amazing people that I would have loved to have featured in this video. We just don't have the time. Again, so many entries, so many of them are so good as well. And also like huge props to people that entered more than once as well. Like just basically giving yourself double or triple the amount of work that other people had to do. A lot of people were kind of like in our kind of, top 10 or kind of top 50, etc. across multiple categories, which is really impressive. I'm very sorry we couldn't give more prizes. I wish I could give a prize to everybody, but unfortunately, just these three amazing people, Nini and Scott and Daniel, are getting our prizes, and I'll reach out to you in the coming hours, days, with details of how to get those. But yes, it was amazing work around everyone. Really appreciated you taking part. And if you want to take part in more sound contests, then we are now officially announcing April Audio Challenge, which if you remember March through sound like last year, it's just like that, except it's not in March because there was a schedule conflict. So it's in April this time. If you didn't know, it's going to be put together by Jacob and Jonas again. They're already behind the scenes working some stuff. There'll be more information about it soon. But basically, it's a 30-day kind of sound redesign challenge. We've picked out 30 video clips from games, films, animations, trailers, etc. We're going to challenge you to just create some sound or music, whatever you like, to each clip once per day. You can join as much as you like. You can do 1 video. You can do 30 videos. You will get a little blue star on Airwiggles for completing all 30 for a bit of motivation. But yeah, so there'll be more information soon. Be sure to check it out. It'll be on airwiggles.com, like everything else.
I love April-Vember. Yes.
April-Vember, March through sound, yeah.
That's it. It'll just have to be like every month of the year now. So we'll
What do we do in 12 years' time? We have to loop round again, I guess.
Exactly. Every 12 years. But there's a gap year, so we like
Okay, yeah.
And lastly, if you have any cool ideas and you want to make them happen, then please do reach out to Lewis and myself on Airwiggles. We're always happy to help other people make cool events happen. That's what Airwiggles is for. We want to do awesome stuff with the community and for the community. So yeah, if you have any awesome ideas or things you want to share or whatever, then hit us up and we can make it happen probably. So yeah, thanks a lot for joining today, this morning, this evening, this afternoon, whatever time zone you're in and where you are in the world. And thank you so much. Stay wiggly, and we will see you on Airwiggles. Goodbye.
Absolutely. Remember to subscribe.
Subscribe.
Goodbye, everybody.